Hey, we back. I'm here on Discord. We're talking about bots again, and this time we're talking about a bunch of different bots. Because what we're talking about is the ability to track YouTube videos and, in fact, Twitch as well. All these examples that I'm going to use today can do both. Because it's kind of useful, especially, of course, if you are a YouTuber or a streamer. You're probably going to want to be posting your streamings and your YouTube videos somewhere in Discord on a regular basis, and you're going to want a bot to do that. For example, me. And even if you're not, it's kind of helpful to have the YouTube videos of someone that you watch consistently tracked anyway, just because you know how temperamental YouTube recommendations are. They're never going to notify you about the videos that you want when they're uploaded. And so Discord bots is a good place to turn. As you can see, the first example we have here is Carlbot. I'm actually going to talk about him first. Carlbot's great. Carlbot, I'm sure you all know Carlbot. You can set him up quite easily. So here is when I set up Carlbot doing my YouTube on my second channel. And as you can see, the commands are pretty simple. We have equals YouTube. You send the link to the channel, and then you put the channel that you want it to be going in. And it just simply adds that here. Which is just wonderful. As you can see, I set this up right after making my new channel there, so you're welcome to go and check that out as well if you want to, although it's doing a little better than that now. But anyway, yes, so that's nice. You can do that, and then you're also going to want to set the message for it. So that's just the equals YouTube again. Equals just being the prefix for Carlbot on my server. It might be a different prefix on yours. The link to the channel again. We've got the FMT, the message, and then I've typed the message that I want here. You can use link to send the link. You're probably going to want to do that because otherwise it's not actually going to send the link to the video. Now for pings in Discord commands like this, you might be able to just ping it, but it's always good just to be sure to go and get the ID instead. So if we just pop over to the roles on my server, we can go and find the upload pings here. If we click this more button, there's a copy ID as long as you're on dev mode. If you're not on dev mode, then you should be on dev mode, and I'm not talking about that in this video. And in order to ping the role with the ID, you're going to want to put the @ like normal, then you're going to want this and symbol, then the ID, and then you close the square brackets around it, and that'll ping the role, which is quite nice. It's not quite the same as pinging a user, which of course you just want the square brackets and the ID goes in there. With the role, you're going to want that and symbol as well. But anyway, yes, so you can pop that in just to be sure, and then send the message, and that's all good. However, as you can see, Carl is not the only one that does this. I actually also use Dino in my server here for my main YouTube channel, the one that you're currently watching on, because Dino also has this feature. Now Dino can only track one YouTube channel at a time. I'm not sure if Carl can. Carl might be able to do more than one, to be perfectly honest with you. But Dino can only track one. That's why I use both, because I set up Dino first on my main channel, of course. And the way you set up Dino is a little bit different. You're going to want to be heading over to Dino's control panel here, where it's going to give you a list of all your servers. We can head on down to my server here, Steve's Waifu Machine, and then in the modules bit, you're going to find YouTube. There's also going to be Twitch here. You can go into settings, and you will find your subscriptions list here. Now, if you have Dino Premium, then you can track more than one. So this is why it's a list. You can add more here, but you have to have Premium to track more than one. And this is basically the same thing. You select the channel that it's going to be posting to. You put the name of the channel, the link to it. And then you can have an embed as well, which is kind of nice. I don't think Carl can do this, so this is one advantage of using Dino over Carl. You can send an embed if you want. A plain message is fine. I just use a plain message. Just send the link to the video so we can have a look at what I've got in my message here. Message content is basically the same as the last one. We've got new upload. We've got that @ and symbol at the start of the role ping. This time you will need to use this format, of course. Just pinging the role doesn't work. You have to use it with the ID here. And then we have video link at the bottom here. It'll actually send the link. You've got a few variables you can use, as you see here, so that's kind of nice. Video link is fine by itself though, normally, because Discord will automatically embed links like that regardless, so you don't really need that stuff. But yeah, if you want to make it look fancy, you can do, and you can even have a separate embed for it as well, so you can proper customize it, which is wonderful. That's why I kind of prefer the Dino one to the Carl one, even if you can only track one channel. So setting all of that up is quite easy as well. It is, once again, not the only thing we're going to talk about though, because that's the two main Discord bots. You've all heard of Dino, you've all heard of Carl. Let's be realistic, using them is quite easy. However, there are a few more things we can use. We have a couple extra tabs open up here. First, we're going to talk about IFT. Now, I'm not going to go over IFT's UI too much here. I'm mostly just letting you guys know that it exists, because IFT is actually really easy to use. Like, it's very self-explanatory UI. I'm sure you'll get it if you set it up. The benefit of IFT is you can actually connect any two things together. It's not just connecting YouTube or Twitch to Discord. You can connect anything together, stuff like Twitter as well, if you fancy. Very customizable. Would recommend having a look. Although, now I mentioned Twitter, they're actually deleting access to their API soon, which is kind of garbage. But anyway, yeah, IFT's really good. Downside of IFT, I actually used to use IFT in my Discord server for the uploads and for the stream pings. So if we swap over to Discord again, you can see here I am using IFT, but the pings were not on time. They were typically, look, you notice how these are all a few minutes after the hour. I tell you what, I didn't start streaming a few minutes after the hour every time. So while IFT is really easy to use and can collect a lot of things together rather than just Discord, it's not very prompt, whereas Carl and Dino always ping right on the minute that I join to start streaming, put an upload up, whatever, or at least as close to it as you can get. So they're much more reliable for that. Personally, I found that a lot more important, so I stopped using IFT. But if it doesn't matter too much to you about the time, it's not that late either. It'll be like 20 minutes late, half an hour late, something like that. So it's not too bad. And as long as you're happy with that, would actually highly recommend using IFT instead, because you can connect pretty much anything together. There's also not such a low limit on how many things you can track. So if you want to track multiple YouTubers with IFT, then absolutely go ahead. Sounds good. The last one is a very similar website here, which is Zapier. Basically the same kind of UI as IFT. Again, would recommend you can connect more things together than just Discord. All the same applies as what I just said. I also used to use Zapier. One benefit of Zapier is that it actually lets you customize the bot that sends the messages. So you see here we have Dino and the Dino profile picture. Here we have IFT and the IFT profile picture. If I scroll way back to when I was using Zapier, you can see I have Streambot and this little ghost profile picture that I decided to put in for myself, which is actually really cool. I had a different profile picture and name for the Streambot and for the Uploads bot, and that is something that I've not seen any other bots offer, which is really cool. Any other bot creators watching this would recommend adding that feature, because it's just nice. So yeah, that's really cool, and if you like that about Zapier as well, again, would recommend using Zapier. I would say overall Zapier is probably the best out of all the bots that I've been talking about today. It's prompt with the times. It puts them up when I start streaming. All in all, no complaints about Zapier, apart from the fact that their login system on the website is kind of scuffed, and it's actually permanently locked me out of their website forever now, which is why I had to stop using it. Unfortunately, I'm now in the position where it just doesn't let me log in. There is no way for me to log in, and I've tried sorting this, and it's not sorting. So in general, I would highly recommend Zapier. It is, of the bots that we've talked about today, there's now 4 of them, definitely the best of them. It just has the most features, the easiest UI. It's great, but be aware that it might just break one day, because it did for me. So yeah, I will potentially leave links to these in the description. I actually don't think I will, because like I mean, do you really need Zapier.com putting in the description? If you just Google Zapier, it's gonna come up. So yeah, it's quite easy. But I just thought I'd let you guys know how to use all of those bots just in general, telling you that they exist, telling you what's available. If you do want any more detailed tutorials on a particular thing, feel free to let me know, but I generally figure that it's mostly very self-explanatory. I certainly didn't have any problems setting any of this stuff up, and as long as you know where the Dino control panel is, and you know what the commands for Carl are, and whatever else, you should be fine. But yeah, anyway, I think I will leave this video here. Bye!